Good morning everyone, it's Sue from EMS Nails and Beauty Wirral and Training Academy. So today I'm going to be doing a video of a full refill and new colours from Gems. So this is going to be Summer, then we've got Molly, and we've got the Cat Eye Ruby. So they're the colours my clients picked out. So we're going to start. I'm starting with the fans and sanding band, just to get up into that cuticle area and take down some of the back because they're catching, and I like them thin anyway, so I don't need to put the bigger head on my e-file. My e-file is currently running on a number 4, and that's my e-file that I'm using. If I use it on anything higher, then I find it runs away from me. So whatever you find comfortable on your e-file, if it's not damaging the natural nails underneath, then you stick with what you know best. I don't necessarily take my gels off the same way as everyone does in the 5-step. I just do my own. So whatever's best for you. No, I don't have an extractor on because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me. So you'll see a lot of nail dust, and I apologise for that. So just pushing them cuticles back a little bit and removing the non-living tissue from the nail bed. And then we'll go in and remove 80% of the gel, which is recommended right across the board. So you get a nice adhesion for your new gel, plus you'll also get that lovely finish without having to work too hard for it. So I'm just tickling that back to get them, because I'm not a lover of cutting cuticles, plus this client bleeds like a little pig when I cut a cuticle, so try not to do that. I just try pushing them back, and she does do well on her aftercare of keeping them cuticle oiled and moisturised. So I know I only have tiny little bits of work to do when we finally get it in, and that's just down to her work and my work. So I'm going to carry on and just do this. If you have any questions about anything I'm doing, please just pop them in the comments. Right, so I've got a hand up on the armrest, which is a lot more comfortable for clients and easier for me because they just dangle the fingers over where I need them, and then I just twist for the thumb. So don't be afraid to move your client's hands. They're going to be uncomfortable for a few seconds, but you struggling for nail after nail after nail is going to have a health impact on yourself. So self-care always comes number first for yourself, and then obviously the care for your clients. So as I say, I'm just smoothing down the backs because they were thin anyway, and I don't really need the next file to be going over them next to her natural nail as much. So the next one's basically just the debulking. So I always pull the skin away. That gives me access to all the side walls without me catching my client's skin. Well, that can happen, but we try not to. Even when you're painting and filing, when you're putting in your final shape, always pull back the side walls, and you can push back these bits so you can tuck your file in better for a crisper finish. So once again, pulling the side wall away because we like our gels to go side to side with this client. let me just unravel me wires. Hold on. Right, so go back, check what I've done, check where I was up to, because you forget as soon as you turn around and do something else, which is about normal. So this video is going to be quite long, so stuff that I'm doing repetitively, like the filing and everything, because I'm videoing this in full, you can just fast forward. So let me give them a little dust off, and whilst I've got this sand and band, I go straight into the next hand. So you can see there's been a little bit of cuticle build up on here. So once again we push up, so you know, sort of pushing up that way, and then you can catch all the non-living tissue that's stuck to the nail all in one foul swoop. The best about using the file, because it's not on a very high setting, is you can just do little movements in any way that is comfortable to you, but not uncomfortable to the client, because you don't want to be causing them heat spikes. And you can remove these little bits in any order, because they're all the thin bits. How much you choose to take off with this is entirely up to you, but it is time consuming, so don't be doing the whole nail. So if you see any little bits, like, see this little bit here, you can see there's a difference in colour of where it's slightly coming loose from the back of the nail. So you just tickle them all out, because your next band will catch even more lifting if there is there. And because this grit is for doing, for prepping your nails, then I'm okay to go onto a natural nail with it without causing any damage, especially using a lower speed. We're not the Chinese who turn everything up to maximum and just rag everything out in 40 minutes. Especially if you're a home salon, it's nice for your clients to have that time out where you get to know them, you get to have a jibber jabber, if they're into that, and just put the world straight, and they actually feel more valued and will come back to you more, because they know, one, they're getting a really, really good service from you, but two, they feel valued in themselves because you've took that time to get to know them. And that's how you're going to retain your clients. Now, if you're new, you may not get, if you're new to the industry and you've just come out of college and stuff like that, then you're not going to know it all. So price accordingly, but please let your clients know that, you know, you're still in training. So you can put out requests on whatever platforms or all the platforms you're using, asking for models to build your portfolio up, take before and after pictures, maybe do a little video in between for your social media, and that client may lose 1, she may lose 9. It doesn't matter, because she's only come in, paid a nominal fee, as she's just been a model, and that's how you learn to perfect your application and where you go wrong. The biggest thing I couldn't tell you from doing this for years is, and training people to do this, is thin to win on your application. So don't even go medium, just build it up in layers and take your time. Don't feel rushed. I can still take 2 hours to do a set of nails, just so I know that they're perfectly done. The client's going to be happy because she's got the retention. I think I've just turned that the wrong way. Oh no, I didn't. I just did a quarter. So by letting them know straight off that they're coming in as a model, they're technically not expecting them to last that long, but it would be nice for you and the clients if your product did last that long, and just have a 3-week return policy instead of going for the 4 weeks, because obviously you're new to the applications. You may even be new to the products you're using, so you're not sure on your products to start with. So aim to bring them back maximum 3 weeks. Now, if they've still managed to keep them on, they're going to be happy to come back and have you do their nails, but they're going to be paying for an infill and new colour. So that's going to be starting your price list. Further down the line, you can do loyalty cards, little things like that, you know. So I remember years gone by, I did loyalty cards for each time they'd sent a new client in. For every 3 new clients they introduced to have nails done, or if they were a waxing client, to have waxing, because I'm already getting the money from them. And that's, they are your repeat clients. So you just give them a little incentive to share your information and tag their friends in it. Get their friends to follow your page so they can see what your work is like. They can then come in as a model because they're new to you, you don't know them. Do a full client consultation. That's really important. All their medications, all their lifestyle, how much do they, you know, clean, how do they clean, what products do they use, all their medications, because all that can have an effect on the products you're using. So sometimes on nails you may have to dehydrate twice, especially if they've got oily nails, or it could be a condition that they've got that stops them from having that particular gel application applied. Or so find out what gel and build the gel and stay to the same company. Do not be mixing brands, especially your base coat and top coats. Don't think, oh, that gives me a shinier finish, and it's not of the brand you're using. Right, so I've gone in with my red bit file. So it's not the coarse one, it's a medium to fine, I'd say this one is, but it still can take chunks if you're not angling your e-file correctly. Now, using an e-file, you hold it like a pen, so you hold it quite far down like I am, right, and basically you're just tickling over. You're not pressing hard onto the nail because you don't need to. The harder you press, the bigger the gouge. So all I'm doing now is reducing the product. My clients like thin looking nails, so it's natural. So the product is predominantly removed from up here. So if I see any bits down here that are going to be too thick, I'll just take a little bit off. So as you get going with your clients, you'll get to know what they like. Some require them thicker because of the jobs, like if they're typing. But you've also got to be confident in yourself to say, you know, you can't really have very long nails to go typing, because it defeats the object. One, it's going to damage your work. Two, it's going to end up damaging their own nails. And three, if they're not going on holiday and it's only a temporary thing, why the hell would they want stupid long nails where they can't work properly? But it's also down to hygiene as well. The longer the nail, the harder it is to wash themselves, use the bathroom and stuff like that. So, you know, there's lots of practicalities around why you don't sort of do excessively long nails, like the XXL nails that some people like. But you can't do anything. You can't do a baby's nappy. You can't get washed. You can't get changed. You can't wash your hair, anything like that. So they're all right as a one-night thing. So just use a tip. Use your full cover tip from the brand that you're using. Put the full cover tip on, and then you're not damaging their nail underneath because you're not touching it. And then do a full removal after they've had their special event. But let them know that, you know, these are not the forever nails, these are just for the special event. And you'll find a lot of them understand that. But at the end of the day, if the client wants and you're comfortable doing what the client wants, then crack on. I just don't recommend it. Now, these are my client's natural nails. We did start with tips. Oh, a couple of years ago? Yeah. Yeah, we started with tips because she only had nails that came to here. She was a pretty bad nail biter. So now, because she can see her nails growing, she now comes to me saying my nails are too long, where the tips she had on were a lot longer, because she finds that seeing to a job and her children is so much easier. And it was literally one day I just said, do you know what, let's try a shorter set. And when I meant short, I took them right down. She sat there with a horrified look on her face. She was like, where's my nails? I tried to say, they will grow, and you will grow with them and learn how to use your nails, and you will know then when they're too long. So if I was to do a full removal, her nails would still be quite weak underneath, because this is all the structure. This is what holds her nails in place to get to this length. Her nails are not naturally going to be that strong on a full removal. So you'd always recommend that you take the nail back down to a shorter length, because it's just going to be too flexible. And it's just going to cause breakages, and that's the last thing they want, because then they'll be back for, or they won't even come back, you know, and they'll want their long nails back. So you're defeating the object. So to get them to move over to looking after their nails, having the proper nail care, having the proper education from yourself on how to look after them, because you've got to remember, these people have not been to do a nail course. They don't know that they have rules that they need to look after them. So to clean underneath long nails, because they do get a bit mucky, advise them to use a baby's toothbrush. And that will bring out 99, if not 100% of all the muck that's under there. So as you can see, I've virtually taken the nails down to nothing, because I know how thin she likes the application. She doesn't like big speed bumps, she tells me, and that's what we call them in here, speed bumps. It's actually your apex. So there's virtually nothing on that nail now, so I can just show you the muck underneath. Well, it's actually a stain she has in her nail. That'll be from a little bruise or just hair, because she is who she is. She ends up with random crap on her nails, and I'm like, how did you do that? She's like, I don't know. But I do know her job and her family life, because we spent the last couple of years getting to know one another. And that's what it's about. That's what people like. Like, if people want to come in and not talk, that's fine. You know, just have music on low. But explain their home care routine. And some of my clients like to know exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what's it for. So they learn a whole load more. So I'm actually tutoring my clients. So these little bits you can see sticking up are just the, well, that's if you can see them sticking up. They're just the product where it's fed up, because they don't always come off clean, but you can get a little feather like that. It's not their nail you're touching. Oh, e-file's gone off. E-file's back on. I keep getting it caught in my top because I put it in my mouth, which is wrong. I should turn it off and put it down, but it just takes me too much time. And it's going to take a whole load longer on the video. So as I say, I put these videos out now and again as come do a full set with me. You'll see how long it takes me to do. And I've been doing nails since 2017 with this particular product I'm using now. Well, not the gems. All my builders are from GellifiQue, which are vegan, hema free, and coming up to being fully TPO free on the new batches that they're releasing now. So always make sure that everything you're using is government approved. So no hema, no TPO, and most of all, make sure your education is up to date. So if you've come from college, you would have got a VCT. City and Girls is another qualification. But what you can't do, what you can't have, that won't be recognised by the industry, is online courses. Just don't do them for nails. You may think, oh, that's a quicker way, but you don't have a person sat there right next to you explaining everything, showing you the pressures of how to use different tools and why we use different tools. You don't have that on online sessions. And to be honest, you tell me hands-on out there how many of you actually read every word and don't just skip through it and then think you know it all, when they send you that certificate of completion, which means nothing in the industry. So don't waste your time and money on them. So you can see me going over the natural nail with this, because it's still there. It's the same grip basically as the nail file I was using before, but because my pressures are very light when I go over the natural nail, they're even lighter than the bits I'm doing now. I'm not doing any damage, because you can cause rings up here if you overuse your e-file or you over-file, because you've thinned that part of the nail out too much. So as it's growing, you've actually just caused a weak spot on your client's nail. So if they come back and they've got a ring in their natural nail, you've caused that, no one else. So I'm going to remove all of this one as well, because it may as well come off. It's only a tiny bit. And sometimes I like to do that after a few applications, so I know I've got a clean, full nail. Only if it's needed, otherwise I don't waste their time or mine on doing something that's not needed. So the lamps I'm using today do come from GellifiQue, and you have to remember that not all gels and not all lamps are exactly the same. So if you've predominantly got what was I going to say? If you've got the full kit, invest in the lamp, because they've had that approved by everybody that works best for their gels. Now you can get generic lamps, but you've got to make sure they're the right wattage, voltage and LED UV to cure all your gels. So you can run into problems doing that. I don't recommend you do it. I've done it in the past when I first started out. You know, hopped over onto one of them sites that'll sell you anything for pennies. You know, the ones I'm on about. And it's really just not worth it in the long run. You'd end up under curing. That's my nail touching this bit. So it's not on air nail, don't worry. So if, like on this one, I've still got, see that little bit of non-living tissue, I'll come back in with, I use Sally Hansen cuticle remover. So just come back in with that and give it a scrape off. And remember, when you're scraping, you're not digging. So that's simple. Everything you do is light unless you've applied your application so thick it needs refining so much. And the best thing to do about that is take your file, take a 100, 180 grit file and work with that, and then work down your grits. So by the end of it, you've got a polished surface from your polishing sponge. They're the little white blocks that you buy, because they go up to, you can get them up to 400 grits, so they're going to leave minute little grooves in the nail. So that's how you want it, and then you go on with your application. So we always dehydrate, and then we go on with our base coat. Now, GellifiQue, the main brand I use, they've got an array of builders. So they go from the full tip cover, because remember, any tips that you're putting on the front of the nail, your weakest parts of the application is your glue. Doesn't matter if you're putting acrylic up here or gel up here, if you've glued that tip on, that's a weak spot. So if you're using the full cover, you can either come right up to the cuticle but blend it down so it's the thick, you know, it's like on the nail, or you can come a little bit further down so you've got a nice blend, smooth up onto the nail, because then that'll make your application of everything a lot easier and hardly any refining. So that's what you're aiming for. And I get that and cleaned off and clean my hand off. And you just keep working your way along. The more concise you're with exactly what you're doing, one step at a time. So come in with your little file at the back, file down. Now, some of you may not be e-file trained, because that's a separate training. Don't think you can just pick one of these up from a shop and go, oh yeah, I can use it. Please, for the love of God, go and get a one-day e-file training course, because that's all you need is one day. Get it off a reputable trainer who's not just one of these that goes, oh yeah, you do that, there you go, and the certificate, you've learned nothing. Right, so you want one that's going to give you an in-depth training session, so you have the ability to not damage your client's nails, because these can damage, and they do damage. So please, any training you do it with a training provider. Now, we do training here. I currently use the Gilda Beauty, but I will be swapping over to running the full courses myself. Gilda Beauty give you basic background information on what you need to know. I can't say it's a full education, because I personally don't feel it is. And I'm not knocking the Guild. Everyone loves the Guild, but I'm moving on with my training and making it more bespoke to me. And by that, I mean I'm going in for a niche clientele for my training, which is going down the EHCP and the pregnant teens. So I'm hoping to have all of them signed off soon with the local authority. So if you're in one of them catchment areas and I'm in your catchment area, then I'm quite happy to go through your full EHCP with your support worker and your school provider. And we teach at your level, so regardless of what you've been diagnosed with, I'll work with you. And if you want to try and cut a few corners, it's not going to happen, I'm afraid, because then you're missing out real big bits of information that you're going to need to complete these, whether you end up just doing your mate's nails for a couple of quid, or whether you then, like this happened, this was just a hobby, and now it's a fully running salon and it's a fully running training academy. So that's what you're aiming for, is to constantly build yourself. Right, so I know there's new laws coming in about your certificates and stuff like that, and what you've got to be trained in. And that's going more to your basic training, which is always going to be your level 1s, your level 2s, level 3s. They need to be certified, but you can do CPD courses, which is continued personal development, and that will still hold as a qual, because once you've trained, you'll be surprised at how much you don't know. So you'll want to go and do either a little refresher, or you want to learn more than what you felt you were taught the first time round. So there's courses out there for everyone doing everything. Just be careful on who your provider is. Make sure you check their backgrounds and exactly what you will be coming out with knowledge-wise. Question them. And if they're a good enough trainer, they'll sit there for days answering your questions. I've done it with a few of the HCP young adults that come through me, because obviously they have anxiety, they have everything else going on in their little lives. The last thing they need is to like just turn up at the door and don't know what the hell's going on. So I always do a face-to-face call with them so they know my face, because purely it's not on these videos, or not if I can help it. I'm not a lover of seeing me on real life. Don't mind doing my Snapchat pictures because I can take all the flaws away. But myself, I'm a disabled 55-year-old woman who works around my own problems. So I have a level of understanding of anxiety, depression, ADHD, OCD, and quite a few others. So the salon is a safe environment because we have it as a safe environment for ladies who are in, or men, because I have men clients who are in abusive relationships and they don't know where to go. So I always advertise my salon as a safe salon. So all their partner will know is that they're coming to have their nails done. They can come here and then feel safe knowing, one, the information hasn't gone anywhere else. And two, we can ring the correct authority that needs to deal with it. I think I've left a bit of gel on that side of the finger. I think I saw it there. Yeah, that'll just come out with a little bit of a roughy. I've left some gel over there. Yeah, a tiny bit, but it still needs to come off because your new stuff is not going to sit on it. So as you see, just a tiny little. So clean as you go. And I know it sounds stupid, and you're sitting there thinking, well, by the time I've cleaned this and by the time I've cleaned that, I'm wasting my client's time. You're actually showing them that you're cleaning. So just don't, you obviously don't take the mick out of it, but you're cleaning as you go so they can see that, you know, you're a clean salon, which benefits them and benefits you, because if they know they're coming in somewhere clean, there's another bit there, they know they're coming somewhere clean, then that sets their minds at rest. And as we're coming into the dreaded flu season, always ask them, do they have, you know, coughs, colds, snivels? And if they do, can they supply themselves with a mask? Because you've got to protect yourself. Right, this one was broken right down, because by the time we got round to doing it, it was too late. So this one I've broken right down. It's now grew a significant few millimeters there, which I'm quite happy. But we're going to rebalance these nails out, especially by just taking them down a little bit, so she can sit and sulk over there. It's like, oh, they were the length I wanted, which she's going to do. Right, so the first thing I do is I come underneath the nail and I just do backwards and forwards. Then I use my straight edge and I come under the nail this way. Oh, can't see you because like you're covered in dust up there. So let me just do this and make sure I'm giving you the best. Right, so I pulled back the side wall, I tuck my file in and then file that straight. Same on the other side, file it straight. So it's on an angle because you're bringing the top of that nail in line with that nail. okay? And then I always square off the ends because this is the shape she likes. So obviously I'm just doing it on this length. I'll show you me taking it down in a minute. But that's your squoval. And you're best doing that at the end after your top coat's gone on as well. Just to take off the edges of the top coat and refine your shape. Right, so this is the length of the nail that a thumb's going to be on. So obviously I come in and doing it the left side to the right side is always going to be different, just depending on what fingers you're using. And don't be afraid to use your hand to move the other fingers when you're doing the thumb. So these arm pads are an absolute game changer. The client's arm is comfortable because it's supported but not at a really high angle. So you've got to make sure that the finger is in the right place. You're sat centralized, and then you just gently, with a little bit of a grip, move their nails so you can see right down the center of their finger from the knuckle down to the center, so you know that whatever point you're putting on, so whether you're going almond, whether you're going pointy, whether you're going square, you're going to know where you're going. That's if you have one of these. These are used for my students, but after my students have used them, then I like to grab them. So for this one, I'm coming in with one of my GellifiQue ones. This is a 180 because these are our natural nails. But you can hear the difference in the grit, because even though that's a 180, right, the grit on here is not as gritty as this. So pay for your files and you'll get a better outcome, because that's what it's about at the end of the day, is getting the better outcome in the quickest possible time because you've paid out for your files. These are sterilised. I use these for about 3 months and they're dead. Then over on the other side, which is very fine grit, I just go round and take snaggles. I come back underneath, so if I can just show your nail underneath. Right, so under there you see these little snaggles here. This is what we're getting off of there, so you can see I've popped that out. Right, you can either just run your file up like that and just take that off, that's fine. But you want to take corners that could dig in, so you've got a nice clean C-curve. Now some nails don't have C-curves. That's her muck. Just getting that. Letting her know she's mucky pup. But she has just finished work. Well, the little bit of work that she did. And I know that because she works for me. But anyway, so big hint out to everybody who knows me. You know what I'm doing. We try and keep names out of it. So as you can see, once again, you've got these little scraggly bits because they're underneath. Come in and you can file upwards like that. So you're filing the whole nail upwards and you'll still end up with that lovely C-curve. So what you want to be doing at this time is checking that they're all centralized. So you can see there's a little bit wonky on this side. When you turn it this way, you will then see the wonk. So you just take the wonk out. So it's a straight line, then just do your recurves back in. So when you look at it that way, now it's, so turn your hand over for me. So now you can see that this is completely square and not. So you can do it this way, because if you're like me, I've got 2 nails that do this, right? And all my these are my natural nails, as you can tell. They all grow in different directions. Like I have curves in these. This one's my worst one, so I have to have that really sort of pulled up because it just bends over, and they bend over from a very short length. So I know my nails are a pain in the tush. Can you just drop them nails for me? Thank you. And my worst thing is I don't have time to go and see a nail techie because they're all busy as well. Right, this one I don't need to shorten down as much, so a gentle clean up of the free edge. Once again, straight lines down the centre, pulling back their skin so you've got full access to that nail. And then, so as you can see there, she's got a really, really tight C curve. Can you see that there? Yeah, right. So you need to pull back this skin here on either side of a nail so you can get that file right up to the free edge, because we don't really want to be filing our skin off. Well, some days I like to, but you know, not today. I'm trying to be professional today. Trying is the operative word to what usually happens in here with us lot, because we just come in and have a play. We don't really do we don't do professional on days where we're just slapping polish on. Well, I don't try my best to get it right. So this hand is obviously a lot longer than the other hand, but we need them to sort of look cohesive. So but as my client is left-handed, we keep them nails a little bit shorter, but these just a tad longer. So if I take that little nail and your other little nail, so you can see they're two totally different shapes because no 2 hands are the same, but the free edge is exactly the same. So that's what you're aiming at. So always cross-check your work, because unfortunately nails don't come with a guide, and your eyes aren't always the best, particularly when you're getting, you know, down to doing this bit. You can come in with these nail clippers, if I can just grab them. Oh. So these are called tip cutters, and they come with a little guard this side, and that will show you the length of the tip. So if they were really long and you want to take them shorter, then you'd have your guard on this side, or magnets. You can do it with magnets, and you make sure that, she wouldn't be happy if I did that, and neither would I. Let's see if I can get you the little guard, because it keeps falling off. Alright, just bear with me a second. So this is the guard that goes on this. Oops, I'm going to get it the right way. Click it into place so we can actually find out the length of this client's nails. So they are number 2. So if you wanted, you can just come along and trim off. But really, was that worth it? So if you're only taking off that fraction, then don't bother. Because what you're going to do is then file a nail. So it's going to take it a little bit shorter again. So it's weighing up the pros and cons. Obviously, you would use the tip cutters to make sure that every nail was the same length. And one major hint that is not always passed on in training is your little nail is one size smaller, and And that is purely because, one, it's on the end and the people don't think about it. But two, it just makes it more aesthetically pleasing to look at when you're looking at the nails. Because like if you have a really long nail here, it looks stupid because then it's virtually the same size as the finger. Where a nail there is there. You should only really be, if you're building nails, just to give them a bit of an extension, the maximum is 1/3 of that nail bed. And 1/3 of that nail bed is a natural growth. So they're not going to put too much pressure on her own apex. Tuck them away, please, love. Cheers. So you see I'm straightening her finger to me because she's sitting on a wonk over there because that makes her comfortable. But as long as her nails are in the centre of your desk and the centre to you, then you will get a great finish, or as great as you can do given your level. So can I just borrow your, yeah, so you can see that is still just a little bit shorter. So if you can put your fingers back to back, relax, so to the cuticle on both fingers, so you can see that that's a lot shorter here. So take her middle finger and do the same, and do the same. You see that they're all the same sizes. So that we're not going to take them down as small as that because she will cry and throw an absolute hissy fit. But it also gives her the encouragement to continue to look after that nail because she wants it long. So as you can see on this one, there is a big overcurve here. So it curls right round her thumb. So it's not straight. There's like a higher apex here and a lower apex here. So you take that into consideration when you're filing, because this side is going to need to come straight. So what you do is you just do that. And you see if there's like, see that little gap? That's the curvature. So that's the bit you're working on there, which is the midpoint of that nail. So when you do this, then it's straight. A little hint I learned about 5 years ago. Especially if you've got like overclawed nails, like, well, it's not overclawed, it's just wonky. So you would do the same with that to try and bring it to look straight. Good luck to whoever's getting me nails next. As long as it's not an NNS salon, which is predominantly what we know as the Chinese salons. And the reason your eyeballs roll across the floor is the products that they use. They're not safe products to be on your hands at all. And when you question them, they look at you stupidly like you got two heads. Because they don't like being questioned. They will tell you yes, 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 yes. And basically you're just filling your head full of bullshit because that's what they're there for the sales. And that guy watching them is basically their timekeeper. So if they go over on their time of doing your nails, that's taken out of their wage packets. Well, it is in my area, which is the wirral. So as you can see, I'm just going in and tidying these little bits up because I don't need cuticle remover because there's not a massive build-up. I just want to make sure that that nail there, before I come in with the rest of it, is as tidy, because any non-living tissue up here is going to lift your product. So I always give the cuticle a little bit more love and attention because that's where it's going to fail. And then I'll come down and make sure my side walls are done, and then I'll come over with a quick file. But as I said, one step at a time, I know exactly what I'm doing here. So I know I'm doing the cuticle area. I know I'm pushing up to try and give as much real estate, which means, you know, trying to get as much nail as I can. Now, on this client, she does have a low point on her cuticle naturally. So I always try and get rid of that. By the time she comes back, it's always back in its original place. But I do try and get it as round. Some people have square cuticles, some people have round cuticles, and some people, like my client now, if you look at the shape of her cuticles, see the way it's very high here, and then it's low. That's her natural growth shape. She can't help that. I can't help that. Or not that I've learned. So I do, just with me file, I just give it a little nudge up, but then that's only to remove the non-living tissue. Okay, so that's all you're doing there. You can't make it do what it's not going to do. So as you can see on here, you've got your scuff marks and then you've got an unscuffed mark, right? So you've got high points. So these all need to be the same. So you've got that scuff mark all round the nail, and then I just come in, and any of the nail that is having new product put on it, I'm obviously scuffing. A 180 grit is what you use to scuff down a natural nail. Anything higher than that, you're just going to give yourself a shiny surface and nothing's going to want to grip. Is it? Is that your saw thumb?
Yeah.
Or have I made the saw?
I don't know. Just let me file there then.
Yeah, but I haven't finished the rest of your fingers yet, so can I have them back? She's not used to having sipper videos where I have to break everything down, because we just usually are yaggling about daily life, kids, and what's pissed us off that week. Sorry if you're young and you don't swear. Sorry to your parents. But that's how it flows. And obviously I do curve my tongue.
That's my new bag.
Ooh, that's a very nice bag.
That he just picked up for me.
Oh, she has a very nice friend who's in Prague, who's just picked it up. What bag is it?
A polo, US polo. A US polo bag.
A US polo bag, so whatever that is. It looks pretty. So he's got her that for the birthday. Whilst he's out there, because that's what she asked for. So anyway, getting back to, you know, what we should be doing. This is how it happens. It's how we roll. So I can see just here, there's a little mark. So I just want to check that that goes away. The more time you spend prepping, the better outcome at the end and the better result your client's going to get. Doing a 10-minute prep is not going to cut it in this industry. And you're best being honest with your clients. You're best saying, you know, like, you could be sat there for a couple of hours at least. That's not just your bloody nail. I do that every time with that one. Especially if you're still filing everything by hand because you haven't had the correct training in e-file, or you're not there with your education yet. So foundations are the key to the building blocks above it. So the more time you spend, as I say, faffing around to get the cleanest possible application board, then the better it's going to be for your client. Right, so I can still see them little bits which are being a pain in the bum. So I've got a shoe hoof. This is just a little abrasion stick. So I'll just come in with them. And I'll take it off. Simple as that. That's still abrasing the nail, so it's still putting the grooves in. If you need more pressure than a light pressure, then definitely go in with a cuticle softener, or cuticle remover as they call it. Where basically all it means is it's softened it enough for you to remove. If you're going in with clippers, the best thing I can wholly recommend is Infalab, and it's called Magic Tuck Liquid Septic Skin Protector. So if you get a little bleeder, you get your Infalab, and you get these tiny little, and you don't know where these come from. Begins with a T. So that's 2 sites. It's the Emu sounding site, but this buy in the UK. It'll save you so much time, and it's made exactly for that. It stops bleeding or minor cuts, scrapes, and sanitizers. So you can use this on yourself or your kids if you've got any. When they scrape their knee, it's not just for nail techs, okay? So that's your best friend to have sitting next to you with them little things. Well, they're not cotton buds. They're not Q-tips really. They're basically a toothpick with cotton wound around the top. So that's what it is. But as I say, I get that from the Emu site. That's not Emu. I'm not going to plug their site. They don't plug my site.
Exactly.
But I'm just trying to let you know where to go and look for this stuff. Right.
I think this is the quietest I've ever been.
This is the quietest you've ever been.
Yeah.
Because I've done a lot of talking and my brain's aching. But there's a lot of information that needs to be given out. So I hope you haven't skipped over everything, because correct and vital information is being given out. Right, you've just seen me come in and do this. All I'm doing is removing a little bit of that free edge that forms the tight cuticle and the tight C curve that she has. So I can see a little bit up there. So come in, and it's still only light. It's nothing. You know, I'm not digging to Australia through her fingers. I don't think she'd be happy with that. And knowing me, I'd end up in Antarctica or somewhere like that. Because I'm absolutely rubbish at directions, even when I'm following a sat-nav, which completely gets me lost, regardless of where I go. So once again, now I can see the whole nail. I'm coming back in to the cuticle, pushing it up and removing the non-living tissue. All the dead stuff left behind by the cuticle. Right, so with the smoother side, I'm coming in because I've got product on this one, so I don't really want to be taking all of that product off. And then I'll quickly go over the free site. So this part of her nail here with the rougher edge. But I don't want to be taking off more product than I've got on, because that's part of my building block. And you'll see why I use it like that and how this client prefers her nails to be done, which is a personal choice for everyone. So you will master many different applications. But like GellifiQue put out an awful lot of videos. So do Gems, so do Nailchemy. And they're the 3 brands that I use in the salon. But my main one is GellifiQue. Because that's my preference. So I have literally all of everything they have ever made. I've got from their aqua gels or acrylic gels, down to sculpting gels, speedy sculpt. Got it all. I've got the build it in the bottle. I've got the build it in a pot. You name it, I've got it. And that's because I use all of that on different clients. Because every client is different, just like you're different to everybody else. So down to the nail I don't particularly like, because it was a naughty nail and it broke, but that was down to my fault. Anyway, and they're working around me. So yeah, it happens, and her nail paid the consequence. Sorry, nail. Sorry, not sorry. But you know, setting me sat off because I'm not willing to take them all down to them. No. That would be sacrilege. No. And as you just said, she's going, no.
No.
That's the devil voice, no. Well, that's the tackiest devil voice. She doesn't use the mummy devil voice on me, thank God. She did once, and she scared the living bejesus out of me, and I was like, whoa, hold on a minute, I'm your employer, what was that for? But at the time, she was having her nails done. So I wasn't her employer at that time, but I still took it as, who are you talking to like that? Yeah, she proper brought out mummy devil nail. I was like, whoa, okay, not doing that again. So you learn your lessons. Right, so I've still got a bit of a high point there because it's shinier. So when you're filing, you're still filing on an upwards motion to round it all off. You would have been given that in your basic level 1, level 2 on how to file. Unless you're copying off YouTube or Facebook, you will not know what you are doing and why you're doing it and why it's important to do that. Unless you get someone like me who comes on as an educator. But that doesn't mean just because you followed this particular live and listened to everything I've waffled on about that you know everything, because you're not sat here watching and you're not sat here doing. I'm just explaining. You can't learn from an explanation. But that doesn't mean you can't practice. Just be really careful. Right, so that little darkness in there is a little bruise that she got a while ago. That's starting to grow out. Thank the Lord. Because we don't like bruised nails, do we?
No.
Right, so leave that hand there. I'm now going to remove that entirely. So keep all my dust. Can you just lift your hands a second? I can't do that. So in work, definitely have your extractor fan going to collect all your nail dust. As I say, I can't for video reasons. Right, so today I'm coming in with, they're coming different. This is called a bonder. It's a prep and prime system, and this is the Adhesion Plus acid-free primer, both from GellifiQue. So it doesn't, I prefer this one, but then I prefer that one. So it just depends on which one I pick up. Then I've got a multitude of colours to choose from in my bases, but I'm going for velour, and this is Apex Build. Only because I like the colour, because it doesn't change my colours. Now, as you know, I'm then going in with Gem's colour, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to top with Gem's topper. Okay, this will be filed down to a smooth, so then I'll be putting Gem's Betty Base on. So Gems do Betty Base, Felicity Flex, Tina Top, and Martha Matte. So there's Betty Base, there's Tina Top. So that will be going under that colour. But this is my structure. And I prefer this than any other builder out there. And it's as simple as that. But as long as you take the final shine off and you start with the correct base coat, you're not going to have a problem because you're using their full kit. Right. Dry throat syndrome. So, if you just put all them there for me. Right, so how to tell that it's done. See it turning chalky? That's dehydrated. So it goes from there to that. And you'd only need a little bit on. Now, if you're just doing a regular backfill, which this is what this was meant to be. But then again, it's me. You would only come on at the back, but you don't touch the skin. You don't let any of the product touch the skin. Because, you know, we don't want to bond to it. We don't want anything to stick to it, so don't stick it there. Right, to the hand, please, Chucks. So I do both hands, but if you're slower, this only works for about 20 minutes. And you can put it on again. So if you're slower than that, don't bother doing the other hand. Right, so once you've dehydrated or bonded, then you start coming in with your builder gel. Right, so see the way it's gone wonky again? Paint in the backside once I'm painting it. So we always hide that nail on a full set. Because it looks like I can't draw a straight line. Right, so that one's gone back. You are going to need a little liner to bring your gels down here. So always have that on hand. This is on a brush, so you don't need a different brush. And always have your clean up solution available for when you have run off. Right, now when you're on videos, that looks like a huge amount. That's it. That is it. Because this is a scrub, and we put the scrub directly on the nail. I've taken most of that off because it's too much. So you can see I'm scrubbing in. Now, everybody you will see starts up here. When you've got that much thickness on your brush, you're not getting a thin coat. So each time I scrub up, I'm taking a thin coat and then I'm pulling it down. So I'll take that thin coat that's there and push it up. Right. And then the final push is into the cuticle area. Right, so you're not doing any of this. This is just a scrub layer that you've scrubbed into all of them. So you can see how much I'm pushing up. You can see how much gel's there. So all that needs to come back off. Don't leave it on there. It's going to build thickness into your nail. And you don't want that. Right, so move that little finger. She's a pain. She's a pain. So once again, scrubby all over. If you get the splay, you're pressing too hard. You know, if you get it to split down the centre, you're pressing too hard on your brush. So just make sure you're light. And then it'll keep everything where it should be. Hopefully. Hope that makes sense. Put way too much on here. See the way that's splayed open then? It's because it's going around the curve at the bottom of a nail. So just be careful that these bottle brushes will actually do the work for you, as long as you treat them with the respect they need. They will actually get into everywhere, because as you can see, it'll naturally splay around her cuticle area, which is great. And sort of remove all that. Right, that is the size you put on for the thumb, which you'll see in a minute. I just picked up too much. So tiny little bit and scrub it in. And the reason you're scrubbing it in is this gives you the best adhesion to the natural nail. Right, so once again, missing a tiny little bit at the top. Looks like I've gone all the way up to the cuticle. I haven't. There is a micro line between where I've finished the gel off. Right, unless your client knows how to hold their hand in a lamp, do not do the thumb, because otherwise the gel's going to all run down there. Luckily enough, she's been with me long enough that, right, so I've put that much on here. Watch how much I take back off. Right, so scrub in. Right, I've just taken that off because there is plenty on that nail to still bring off. So let me brush through the work, and you see it's getting into where I need to be with that tiny, minute, see there's still too much on the brush, minute line. If you do get it on your client's nails, remove it straight, get it on, no, not off the nails, on the skin, remove it straight away. Or you can come in with a barrier around. Right, 30-second cure on these. Let me just check the bottle. LED 120. Oh, hold on, I can't see. Right, 30 seconds LED, which is what my lamps are. Otherwise it's 120 in a UV. UV cures slower. Right, I've picked up too much, so I'm just going to go in on a different nail because I can't be bothered. Because I know she's on a timekeeper as well, which is a pain in the arse. But as I'm technically doing this on a work day and she's not doing much work, well, Shawsley hadn't done any work. She did work her backside off the last couple of days, so I'll give her that. Well, yeah, she wasn't here. She saw to me, and then I was able to get on with my life, because that's what she's here for. Right, so once again, see, my client has just put her hand, just show, she's took it out of the lamp. Encourage your clients to leave it in the lamp, but not move their fingers, because otherwise it's going to decrease how long you can use your lamp, because they only have so much life in the bulbs. So if your clients are going to move their hands in it and keep turning it on and off, one, you're not going to know where the hell you're at, whether they've cured it, whether they've not. So just ask them to leave their hands in the lamp. And one, if you've got any floaties around the salon, which everyone does, then that will stop it. But as typical clients, this one can't keep her hand off her phone. So her using the phone or being distracted with the other hand will actually affect your work on the opposite hand. So unlike the TikTok videos that go around where you see a nail tech slapping their client, that's against the law. You cannot abuse your client. You will end up in court. So as tempted, believe me, as you want to be, just don't. So you can see her cuticle has gone back into exactly the same place as before. So because it's done that, which annoys the crap out of me, so you can see I just touched there, so I'm taking it straight off. You would use an applicator to take that off. I just use my nail because it's not going to touch my skin and I've wiped it off. Right, so I gently come in, spraying the brush, because we don't want it touching her skin So we have to follow that line, unfortunately, which seriously causes me OCD to majorly kick off. But I just try and control that with breathing with air. So make sure you've got a smooth finish. If you haven't quite got a smooth finish, you can just ask them to turn their thumb directly over so it's upside down. That'll drag the product. And you do that more so when you do, you can cook that now, when you do this bit. Right, so this bit I don't do a thumb because of the size of the apex or the speed bump. Right, so the amount of gel I've got on, I'm going to come in and I'm going to place it 2/3 up. Oh, she says 2/3 up the nail, because that's where your apex is. So you're going to come in and this is going to be your build. Right, so I know you're all like, oh, no, she hasn't taken it right up, or why is she not doing this all the way down? Like you see, as I said, my client likes her nails thin, right? So if we put too much on, then she's not a happy bunny. What is that little thing in there?
Do you know what I was looking at before?
I know, yeah. I don't know. I'll have to, when I'm refining, it'll come off. Right, so spread your gel out evenly and then teeter it off for a thin edge, which I'll show you in a second. Right, you saw that big gap I left at the top, right? So I'll just come in and I'll just touch the edge of that gel and then I'll walk it down. So that gives me a very thin layer of gel at the back. So if I turn that up to you, that's how thin my gel is, and the apex is nicely sat in there. Now you don't see the apex so much until I turn, can I turn that on the side a little bit, babe? Right, so she only has a small apex on her natural nail, so we only give her a small apex, otherwise a speed bump on there would look really stupid. Right, so little finger next. Yeah, because I picked up too much gel, I just couldn't be bothered wasting it. Are you, right, any injuries you cause yourself are down to you. Right, you can't claim on me insurance for that.
I don't know what's going on. I keep hitting everything today.
Oh, your dyspraxia going off, girl.
Yeah. Have you noticed my hands aren't shaking as bad?
I know, yeah. They're not shaking as bad, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm just feathering down. Now you can use your liner brush to do this. I use my liner brush more when I'm coming in for me colours. So give that time to settle down. And just keep moving on. Right, so spread your bead. Build up your apex to as large as it's needed or required by the client. So I'm just putting a little bit more on this one. Because that's what she requires on these nails. So that's why I'm saying you get to know your clients so you know which bits need doing. Like that bit, when she turns it all upside down in a minute, it'll all form into the apexes. Right, so you still see I'm going in really thin, because you can put another layer on top of this because it's still got the inhibition layer on. Oh, that's a little bit too much. So you can still go in and put another builder over the top. So you see I just walk off of that apex and then I just bring it straight down, and that gives my client her desired shape. Walk that up and then build down. And you literally just do move it side to side. Make sure there's nothing on it. And just go in and check before you move. Ask your client to turn your hand completely upside down, which she does on here, and that keeps her nails straight. But can you put that over there while I do the other nails? Otherwise this video is going to be like 20 hours long. Right, so on here I've got quite a bit of product on my brush. What you can do to also get this to work as well, and you'll see that on the GellifiQue videos they do it, they also just put a very thin layer down, you know, to help this move around. And yes, that's a good practice to be in. I just don't have that much time today to be doing that, but yeah, you would put your slick layer on, that's what that is called. And once again, I thinning it down on the side walls and at the front of her nail. Why am I picking up these huge big blobs? Oh. Right, so on gel, you will always be taught to bring it down. Right, so that's where the apex sits, just in there. Right, so then you just bring down the rest, but as you can see, there's an awful lot of gel on there. And I don't need that much gel. So you know what's going to happen next is I'm just going to remove it. Right, still making sure there's an apex build. But then when I get down here to feather it off, I'm removing all the excess gel, because she doesn't like thick nails. Some clients that come to you don't know what they want. They've only got an Instagram or a Pinterest picture. And what you've got to let them know is you may not be able to achieve that look or them precise colours because you don't know what brand they were using. You will not know yes please, sorry, I forgot about that. She's still having her hand upside down, she's going to have elbow and apex on it. Well, it'll all be drawn out. I should have checked if runs, but I didn't. So what you won't know is the colour they've started with and any filters they've put on or any flash boxes to take that perfect. So you don't know all of that. So don't set yourself up for a fall, because a lot of nails now are AI nails. And you're never going to achieve anything like an AI nail. Did I have any runs on that hand?
No.
No?
No. Perfect.
Brilliant. We will show everyone in a second. And that's purely because it's thin. So it's not going to run anywhere I haven't put it. So once again, push up, keep me in place, and then featherly remove it at the bottom. That is my preferred choice. Right, turn your hand upside down over there. Remind me in a minute.
Yeah. My hand's still upside down.
My hand's still upside down. Can I cure it? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to do this and then I will show you her nails. Now I'm putting a little scrub layer on this one purely to help me not use loads of product building up her nail. So that's already made it all flat. That's nice to work with. So I'm not going to use all this gel. So you put your apex in where it needs to go, and it'll only flow to where your lines have gone. So it sort of stops unless you have majorly overbuilt it, and then it'll all run off. So as I'm doing this, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on. Just, have I caught that again, or is it just me?
No, I'll kill them now.
Thank you. See, I said I was going to check them ones, but I trust you. I have to. So you can see that micro gap at the back. Here, apex is where it needs to be. And then feather it down. Turn your thumb upside down, please, babe. So while she's got her thumb upside down, you can see she's got perfectly laid nails. They're not too thick, as she likes them, because she's a pain in the arse. But it's actually good for her, because then she still treats it as if it's her nail. And that's what's good. Right, so let's have a look. I'll do this properly. So you'll see on there, I've missed a little bit, right? So you come in with your liner brush and you just move the gel and there it's gone. So remember, this is a wonky nail. So you see a bigger build up here than over here, because that's just how it looks. But it's actually not. Her apex is all the way through. So yes, you can cook that now, please. Kill it. I only say that because gel's alive until you stick it in the oven.
Yeah.
And believe me, it'll go where it wants to go. Right, have we still got the thumb to do on that hand?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll keep that out. Because this is the next important part of what we're going to be doing. Right, so I'm going to put the little scrub layer on because it's a thumb with the wonky cuticle. So make sure that's thin. Thin to win. And jewels are not tools. Right, so we're going to need a bigger bead than that. There, that's your bead. Put that on. And then work that down, feathering it on the side walls and thinning it where it needs to be thin. Remove all your excess product again, go back in, just tickle up, but you can see it virtually moved up there anyway. So just touch up your speed bump. Because I forgot what it's called, apex. Right. So turn that hand upside down, please. Thanking you very much. So while she's got that one upside down, the other hand is cured. So I'm coming in with GellifiQue Nail Surface Cleanser. This removes the inhibition layer, because while they're like that, that's when you would just go in with your gels. But we're using a different gel system. Plus, I also want to refine that one nail that I think I've caught. Yeah, that one's got that little bump in it. And yes, I can still feel it. So I want to refine that one down. So I don't need to go in with all of the files. I just know it's that bump that I want to get rid of. Right, so you always start, you'd always start the same way you would refine a nail anyway, which is the sides, straight up, your cuticle round, and that's how you get it nice and thin at the back. Don't take it too thin, because otherwise you will have that breaking off, because it becomes loose. Right, that's gone. Right, so pull the skin and just finish that refinement off. And you can do that with all of them. It gives you a nicer finish at the end. So because I've dehydrated them, then I come in and I'll change me setting over to 60 seconds, because that's what Gems wants. Now, Gems gels are a lot thinner in consistency, but a little goes a long, long way, and their inhibition layers are so sticky, you don't need a lot. So this is why I'm saying stick with one brand, get to know that one brand, and practice with it a lot. So you just see me put that on in little bits. I'm coming back in now to remove it, because I don't need that much. Right, so up to the top, and just do them in bits, just primarily to get rid of the product you've got, the build up on. Right, so you come down, and you get as close to the cuticle that is allowed, because we don't want product on our finger. Right, so still got product on there, it's only a little bit, so I can go straight up into the cuticle area, straight down the side walls. This is just my preferred way of applying base coat. And then just fill in the middle. So pick up another little bit. Right, so I've just seen this little, see this little hangy? It's just come straight off. Just a little bit of a natural nail from underneath. Right, so I know I've got a bit of product on here, so I've started in the middle of a nail. I'm going to wipe off, and then I'm just going to walk that back a little bit until I've got more product up there, which is now on my brush, and bring it right down and cover the nail completely. Right, and because she knows how to hold her hand in the lamp, which is, so basically you put your fingers in the lamp like that, and then you hold your thumb up by not moving them. If you can't do that, like I can't, she can, because she's got weird hands, then it's all going to run, and you're going to have more refinement to do. So coming in at the top, as you can see, nice thin layer, thin to win, I can't say it enough. And jewels are not tools. Right, so they go in for 60 seconds, babe, with your wonky thumbs. Yeah. So there's a lot of product on that, so what I'm going to do is put product on there. I'm going to wipe the rest on that finger. Right, can I just have your hand a little bit more? You keep taking it back over there. Right, so walk my product up a little bit, and then start smoothing it back down, so you're taking the product off. Because as I say, you don't need a lot. And you don't with GellifiQue or Nailchemy, to be honest with you. It's just that their gel is just a little bit thicker than this one. And I always make sure that every company I go with complies with what my personal ethos is around everything's vegan. So everything that I've put on here is vegan, right? As in the builder and that. Then you can go on with products that I've got a little bit of hema in it, or are not fully vegan, because it's not going to touch her nail bed or her skin. So you can do that if you choose, because sometimes not every company is fully vegan. GellifiQue is, and Nailchemy, I do know, are bringing out their vegan range. So once again, as you saw, I had a lot on that brush. Start at the bottom, pick up a little bit of the product, and put that up there and smooth it all out. Right, and your wonky thumb, please. Yeah, she does think it's funny that I'm saying that. So I'm just going to pop that product down there. So you can apply it in different ways. I'm trying to show you different ways. Right, but that's an awful lot of gel that was there, as in a Betty base. So what I'm doing now, as you can see, is I'm putting a little bit more pressure on and I'm removing that. It's only so I didn't have the bobble of gel sat there. Right, here you go. You can also turn these upside down as well, but there's no point. Now comes the design. So we've picked the 3 colours. So we're going to do the main colours first, and then the fingers we've chose to do the 2 colours on. So this is Molly. Molly's going to go on her thumb and her little finger. Once again, I come in and I place her there. And I work it to the free edge. All the side walls. Well, technically it's both. Right. And then I push the product with my brush. Because you only need a thin layer to go on. Because as I keep saying, then to win. Right, you're going to have to bring this over to me a little bit because I've just caught your skin, but I need to do your cuticle area. Right, relax them fingers down for me. You can grip me lace around my throat, not today. Right, so you come in with your liner brush in a second. So just neaten all this down so you don't have any high points in your gel. So you come in with your liner brush, and because we don't want it really thick in there, but we do want the colour in there. Right, let me get my little stabby stick, I call them. Right, I just caught a little bit too close there. So just remove that. Because I have like really, really wobbly hands, I naturally shake. So I have to be really careful. So as you're seeing, I've taken colour from there. So that's now a slightly shade paler. Right, so all I'm doing is just spreading this gel around with my liner brush because it's picked it up. Oh, I've touched that bit of skin again. And I'm going to come in. But your first coats are never perfect. And you try and get them as perfect as you can because you need to. Right, so I'm going to take that bit off to even that out. See? You need to get it down your side walls as close to the skin as possible, but without touching the skin. Right, there you go, done that one. Right, get off. I didn't mean I'd done the whole hand. Quick, but I'm not that quick. Right, little finger is having this on.
How nice is that pink?
This pink is gorgeous in its first layer.
Yeah.
Pops even more in its second. Do you need to stand?
No.
You just need to move?
Yeah.
I bought you a new chair so you didn't have to be doing all of this wibble and wobbling.
Oh, it's me, I can't sit still.
No, we know. It's you. Right, so I'm taking that gel back off with this second. Right, so I'm just seeing a bit of coarse. So completely remove that. I've got it under my nail. Don't know how. I'll clean it off in a second. Right, so push the gel up towards the cuticle, but you don't want it thick up there. See the way it's gone thicker? You can tell by the colour. So you just bring it back off the nail. It does not need to be up there. I'm just going to apply a bit of gel on my brush. I'm going to come right down that side wall.
That was close.
See, she's moving around, which really doesn't help this side of the job because she's opening bottles now. Right, and you can see the gel move anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, so this nail and this nail are going to have the design on. So we're having, can I have your fingers? You keep pinching your fingers so you can't be comfy. So as you can see, I'm still not going right up. I'm going to wipe all of that off. Pick up gel from here. And then come in. Stop using your phone, you're moving your fingers.
It's nearly dead, my phone.
Oh, do you want it on charge?
Yeah, please.
What charge did you need?
C-type.
A C-type. This is another thing that you'll always find with your clients.
They won't need charges.
They need your chargers. So always make sure you've got plenty of chargers around.
Yeah, you put it on charge that side, I won't be able to go on my phone.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'll do that. I'm just going to find out which end it is. There you go.
Yeah,
And I'm going to turn it upside down so she can't see when the messages come in.
my boat doesn't light up my screen.
What do you mean it doesn't like your screen?
It doesn't light up my screen. Do you ever get a message?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't light up.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Oh my, no, God, now I've got them put.
The only time it'll light up is if I get a phone call.
Oh, right, okay, I can leave it that way. Right, so I'm going to come in, tickle this through. And then take it that little bit higher to the cuticle area. And make sure all the side walls are covered in. Because this will tell the next layer of gel where to go. In a nice way. not in a horrid way.
They're not going pink.
No, they're going with your cat eye over the top. So
Yeah.
they've got to have pink underneath. You wally.
And then the yellow.
Yellow's going on that one.
Yeah.
But I need my colours on here, on that, because that's where that bit of pink come from. I wondered where I picked it up from. Right, so if you're struggling with doing this hand, start with this finger and push that finger down. Start with that finger and work over. We just don't work like that. We teach our clients to get the fingers out the way by kindly reminding them, or knocking the finger a little bit, you know, to give a little tap if the head's in the phone. Right, so you can see there's a little bit on that side wall that I'm missing. But sometimes I can get it with the brush. Sometimes I'll use my liner brush. So it depends on your skills. Obviously, because I have shakes, I rely on both. Right, so pushed all that up. So I'm pulling all that back down. And once again, because I know I should be doing my medication about now. Yeah. So I've put quite a bit on there, just so I can get it spread around the nail. Hi, die. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in with the brush and remove that, because that will add height into that area, which I don't need. So make sure my brush is cleaned off as much as possible, and all I'm doing is I'm just going in there, touching it, dragging it down and dragging it off. Right, now don't worry so much about how your first coat looks. It's a base for the next. You want it everywhere. You don't want it like majorly patchy, because that's just a crap job. But if you're doing ombre nails and stuff like that, the nails look worse at the beginning than they do at the end, because you're putting 2 coats on of this. So this is thin. Your next coat is thin, but the 2 coats together are the win. So once again, going around all of these little edges, because nails really just hide everywhere because of the side walls. Right, and then we're coming in with our summer, which is the yellow. Oh shit, I've painted that bloody nail. Oh, I got carried away. Right. So come back in, remove the mistake. So because we removed, how have I got all this varnish over me? What am I doing? So because we removed the inhibition layer, we're going to have to come back in with a Betty base. Sorry, I will put the yellow on the other finger first, if I remember. Yeah, so if you're doing odd nails, try and remember what you're doing. Right, put them in for 60 seconds.
Wow.
Is that pink fluorescing?
Yes.
Wait till you see the yellow. Right, give us this hand. So, because now I know I'm doing this one in summer, which is the yellow. Right, so your first colour is going to go down and it's going to look really insipid. And that is fine, because that's the thin to win. Okay? So don't worry about it. That's what I mean, like, if it's sort of slightly patchy, that's the patchy I'm talking about, not where it's got bits missing or anything like that. Because gel will just flow back together. You happy with that?
Yeah, colour's gorgeous.
Right, well, while I've got my yellow house here, I'm going to do that now.
I'll just put me on there.
Right, so chuck that hand over there. Let me get some yellow on this one. So if you've not seen Gem's gels before, go on TikTok and just put in Gem's and you should find them on there, or Gem's nails. It was made by, it was the production of a lady called Gemma. So it's all UK based, and they're an absolutely fantastic team. You've got a question, you just ask them. They do lives a couple of times a day sometimes. they're so busy. And then you'll get lives doing nail art, lives doing swatches, and we have a check-in. How are you doing? Grab a cuppa, come and have a chat. We have one of them. Right, so I've plonked that on there, so I'm just going to smooth that out, only because it's the way I am. Just give that a second to smooth around. Right, I'm going to come back onto the nail I was working on. So because that's had time to smooth around, I'm just going to refine it a little bit, and I've just stuck nail yellow gel.
So I'll put it in there.
Yes, please. Cook that one. How fluorescent is that, sweetheart?
I like it. I need one of these lamps around, just to put my nail under it.
Just get a blue light.
Yeah.
Right, and then I need me pink everywhere else. So she's going to tuck all her other fingers away for me.
Oh shit, I need the light.
And she's just going to sit mesmerised at her colours under the lamp, which is great, because then I can get my job done. Well, sort of. Right, so pull back the skin, and then I'm going to come in with, I'm getting this blooming gel everywhere off this brush. You can get little brush holders. I've got one, but it's off to the side of me holding all my other stuff. So I tend to just have this sat next to me on the table, which is not ideal, believe me, because you get everything covered in it, including yourself. Right, you can tell she's moving again, can't you? You'll know what she's doing just by how her hands are moving. And then obviously, because her hand moved, it touched my skin and took all the gel off there. So I'm just going to feather that through, so I've got like an evenish coat. Remove them little dust particles. Just wipe my brush, that's got some nail prep on it. Oh yeah, while I'm on about brushes, to clean your brushes at the end of all your treatment, you clean them in a base coat that will pull every bit of colour out of your brush, and then you dry it with a lint-free pad and store it with its little cap on. If you do that, you're going to be able to reshape your brushes into the correct shape, so they're not going to go all wonky donkey and break on you and have gaps where they shouldn't have gaps. Oh, now here comes the hubby. Hello, I'm on camera. Yeah, but I'm just on film, so what's wrong with you?
Kobe's wardrobe is in the car.
Oh, you've been doing that?
What?
Thank you, darling. That's my grandson. Well, no, that wasn't my grandson. That was my husband telling me he's dismantled. So I've got a tip run to do as well now. Oh, groovy. Just love how my days turn out. And they moan at me if they have something thrown at them. But they don't take me into consideration that, you know, I may have stuff I need to do, of which I have lots that I need to do. So make sure you get right down into all them, because they're the bits you're going to see as soon as you apply your second coat, or when you finish and you go right. So I've got the yellow over there, done that. So if I was doing these nails a totally different colour completely, I'd still put the first coat down just so it's on there. And that reminds me what I'm doing, which obviously you all saw before. I forgot that bit, didn't I? So I'm going to slide a little bit of gel off me barrel, just so I can go in and do that top bit. Saves me having to... She's so inconsiderate, isn't she? You know, can I video this, Yak? Can you not die over there? No. I'm still going to die.
Try my best.
I know you try your best, but your best isn't good enough.
So you try my best to sit still and all.
Yeah, you know, I don't expect a lot, so, you know, I'm easily pleased, and I have to be. Because you're just getting what you're getting on your nails now. Simple as. No. Always be patient with your clients unless they are really taking the mick with their moving, they're using the phone. You know, try and control what your clients are doing because it'll make it damn sight easier for you. And it also teaches them that you're not going to put up with the bullshit when they come out.
Yeah.
Because believe me, they all try it. They know best. Another nail tech was able to do it. And you've seen her picked up a fluffy there. So fluffies are free, but we don't particularly want them on our nails. So picked up quite a bit of gel there, as you can see. I'm now going to take that excess gel off, twist the nail, pull the skin, tuck it in, and then I'm going to push that up. This is my preferred way of doing it. You will find yours. I just don't like thick products up here, purely because that's what is going to catch when your nails grow out. So try and keep it thin, or as thin as possible, because obviously you've got all the layers going on. But I do try and keep product application at the cuticle and the side walls as thin as humanly possible. Definitely without causing structural problems. Let me just give that a wipe because I picked up probably a bit of floating dust. Right, so always move the nail so you can see. It's only going to be uncomfortable for your client for a little sec, but take in consideration if they've got arthritis or, you know, they can't move that thumb into that area or that finger into that shape. So yes, it's about primarily your comfort because you're sat in that chair from whatever time you start to whatever time you finish. They're only in it for the time you've got it right. Go and cook them, please, love. Right, bring me this set in. Obviously, I can follow the coloration that I've got. Right, so I don't need a whole load on the brush. To get that second layer laid down. And your second layer will always go a damn sight quicker than your first because you've already put in all of your margins, all of your lines. The only reason I put that at the top then is because I don't have a lot on my brush because it didn't pick up a lot. Because in all honesty, you're just putting a thin layer of top onto the base. So getting the base all covered properly is literally your best job. But as I say, your first base colour is always going to look naff because it's so thin. But you can see once you put that second coat on how it doesn't look naff no more. Right, so you see the way this is split over here? That's because I took the gel too thin. You know, when I was moving it. So I correct that. Then I'll wipe off my brush. And I'll come into the cuticle area. Move that little bit of dust. Wipe it off. Right. That one's done. Over to my yellow pot. Thank God I twisted that on. Did you see how I just picked that up?
Yeah, like that wouldn't have landed well.
Right, so you can see how that looks. Looks a little bit liney, grainy. Shit. Basically. Doesn't look that good. Because this yellow is better done in thin coats. If you need to put 3 coats on, you need to put 3 coats on. If you need, never more than 3. But if you're doing a fin to win, then you need 3. You might get away with 2. Just depends. So I'm just going to let that sit there just for a second. Is that wet gel? How the hell? Oh, it's on my finger. Oh my lord. Let me check I haven't knocked any of your other fingers going around. I don't think so. Clean myself up with me prep and then I'll wash my hands properly. So I'm just checking that that spreads evenly and leaves me no splotchy bits. Right, move the yellow because I'm bound to knock it, because that's what happens in here. I become clumsy. So because I've hardly got any gel on the brush to start with, I can start at the top and just pull it down. If you need a little bit more, you'll always have a little bit on your barrel. See? Right, can you just relax that thumb a little bit more? We don't need it straight out today. Right, go and I was just about to put it in the cooker and I've missed a complete side out. Because I'm clever like that. Right, go and cure that lot. Gives this lot, so you can see how thin this one was, because you can see it's patchy, that's a little bit patchy, and that's a little bit patchy. And I didn't do a really good clean up there, did I? No. So that's bad on me for not doing clean up. That is down to you, and that should be off your clients. So because that's been cured, you just need a little bit of willpower and not want to kill yourself. No, I'm joking. To clean it off, because it's cured on the skin and you don't want that. You never want your client leaving with gel on them like that. And that's probably because I've touched it with the nail when I had yellow on it, to be honest with you. Because I had yellow and pink under there. So even though you see me just wipe it off with me nail tips on my fingers, that is not a healthy thing to be doing. Use your little toothpick. And just drag all this through so you've got a nice thin coating all the way down. And you'll see your little fluffies all come into play now, because you're at this point where they all want to show up and get in on the party. You just have to politely bounce them out. Wipe off your nail brush, or wipe off the brush, and then they've all been departed from the party. Nice and easy, lemon squeezy. Right, let me just clean up this bottle because somehow I managed to get it absolutely everywhere. That can go over to the side. Right, I'm just going to come in. I'm just going to see if this works. If not, I'm not telling you what I'm doing. You probably can't see it on camera anyway, but I don't know. So this is just pure alcohol I've used here. But I do find with jams, they do flake off easy from where you don't want them. GellifiQue would not move like that. Take it from me. And that way you just go in and find the product that will remove it. So usually acetone, but I don't like putting acetone on people's skin because it dehydrates their skin. So that's why I tried the alcohol. We don't mind a little bit of a drink, do we, babe? We need it once we've done one of these sessions anyway. Because she's got to be quiet and she hates it. She likes to be doing stuff. Right, so what am I doing? I'm doing the yellow on this one, aren't I? Right, so here come all me unwanteds. So you just get all the ribble rabble down the nail as your first point of call. Just did. What have I just knocked then?
Me nail.
Oh,
Got yellow all over you again.
See?
This yellow does not like you today.
No colours like me any day. I just don't watch what I'm doing. You know, like before when I completely painted the nail pink?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to dab a little bit more on there and then take it off. I'm going to let that sit a minute. I think I've got pink on you. I have. Oh, fudge. Don't want that pink. Get off. Oh, now we've got the unwanteds back. Oh, you could even end up with a mild pink spot or unwanteds. We don't want either. So I've just gone back into my bottle. Put some more on. And I'm going to take it all back off. And we're going to let that nail sit. And let it do its job on spreading. So these are all cured. Now let me just get all this colour off me before I put colour on my client. Oh, look at me. What the heck? Oh my God, who are you? Molly. Oh yeah, even Molly in real life that I know, she does exactly the same thing. Hi Mols. Love you really, babe. Jesus, you're all over me. Right, get that cleaned off. So I've got the prep on here as well, so I'm going to clean this brush off. Just because. How have you got pink on here? Oh no, I've got pink on there. Believe me, it's always my fault. It's because she's not putting her hand. Oh bloody hell. We're at it again. I'll give up. I'm just smush and smush because I didn't pick up a clean front 3-pad. See, it works better when you do it properly. Right, so get rid of this stick because that's got the other colours on, plus it's had alcohol on it. Right, so we've now finished with both of them colours. We've got to come in with ruby, which is our magnetic. But before we do that, here's a little hint, girls. Right, go and top every other nail with your Tina top, because then they're done.
So that one's having fun.
So your ring finger and your middle finger keep out my way. Right, so Tina top in gems is still put on nice and thin. Right, yellow. Oh no, I was going to put some yellow on that, wasn't I?
I think it wasn't the top one.
No, because this is going blobby.
Because you said one cat eye, one red and one yellow.
Now I'm going to do the two cat eyes,
Yeah.
and then I was going to do, but I can show you a little thing. Watch this. I learnt this a little bit ago. Let me get a dot and tool. Right, and you should dispense this, but because I'm not going to use loads. Right, you can do this with base coat, it's better. Right, so dot, see it spreading? So you've got to be sort of quick at doing it, because it'll spread out. And just throw a little pattern on. Oh, yeah. So just throw that little pattern on. That was not the pattern I was going to do. Right. Let it spread out until you're happy. Right. So you can either come round and mush them together, or you can just pull that in. Just pull these in. Oh, try touching the gel first. You must actually find it works. You can pull them in, and then you can just do like little twists on the top. And that is a simple little, I didn't really mess up that much design. Because we all get that. Once that has bloomed, now you can see what she sees in the lamp on that colour. So that is just securing it in place. Right, so you can see the yellow is hardly yellow because we didn't want it. Well, I didn't want it. She didn't know what she was getting. I didn't want it to overpower, but I needed to tie it in with. Right, so give me your thumb and your yellow finger.
You give me yellow finger.
Have a Tina top the yellow finger. You sure?
I'm sure you have.
Let's have a look. Yeah, because shiny again.
Yeah.
Right, so go and pop them in for 60 seconds. Right, so we're going to do the same muck up we did before when we realised we were topping the top wrong finger. And I'll come in once again with Summer, which is our yellow in this collection. I'm just going to pick up a dot. Right, so we did it that way, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to go this way. Just trying to get a little bit more on that so it spreads. So if you wanted it more coloured, I'll just show you this. So that's done its spread. So you just come in and you just put an extra. These aren't going to match now, by the way. Sorry.
Oh well.
Yeah. So you just put an extra little bit of colour on it. Let that bloom out. So clean your dot and tool up now. So while we're letting that bloom, we will go in and top the others, and then we'll come into that just to give it its last little move around. And thumb, please, my darling. Oh, you've got bits on it. What the heck? So this hasn't got any wipe on it, so I'm okay to go. Be Jesus. I'll get them. Tina Top will see them off. So just put that on a little bit thicker, because I know I'm going to be wiping that on there. Because God alone knows which rabble came in, all the unwanteds. Right, I picked up that, so I'll give that a wipe. All the unwanteds came onto this thumb. I know where we had so many unwanteds, because you wiped where my gel spread before.
Yeah.
Right. So, once again, come in with your little brush. Pull them in. So it's an easy flower. And then you can pull them to a little tip, just to give a little added extra. Look at my fingers. Jeez.
Mum's like, I wonder what we're doing.
If I did that to my table, I wonder how many colours would glow.
Oh, imagine it. That sounds like fun.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, should we do that after? Not on camera. Right, so go and cure them for me, please. Right, now we're coming in with our cat eye. So I'm going to move Tina. I've moved her to the wrong place. Try and keep yourself cleaned up as much as you can. So you're going to need your little blue light. You're going to need the magnetic. So that's my magnetic. I've got hundreds of magnetics behind me, but this is the one I'm using today. Right.
So is that 10 to 3?
I hope not. But yeah, it will be. Right, this is gorgeous. Who was this one again? Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so we don't need it thick, because we're going to do this in 2 layers. Right, so we're going to come over. Oh no, I'm doing this in 1 layer, because we want the pink to come through. Right, so we give it a nice covering. Let me clean that off like a proper professional. Yeah, it's a title I've never given myself. I thought, you know, I'll just throw one up there.
Yeah.
Just the one. Right, so I'm just putting some nail surface cleaner on it. And I'm going to come in and remove that. This is how you would have removed all of your other mess ups. Right, and I'm going to come in with this beauty. Actually, first off, oh, where's the one I'm looking for? There it is, hidden underneath everything, as everything does. Because somehow I've lost the big ring out of there again. It's completely gone this time. I don't know where it is. Alright. That's me just trying to get magnets off of my wall. I need to find out what the magnets I wanted, really. Was nowhere near the collection I was pulling off. Oh, jeez. Oh. Right, I've got 3 off. There's 2 off. There's the other one off. Right, so what we want to do is dull down the whole nail. So you move all the fleck over to that side. Right, and then you need to bring the fleck back out. So let's get rid of that. And then we just keep wafting this until we draw all of that lushness back out. So if you need to do it a couple of times, you do it a couple of times. But you want to see all of that nail with all of that beautiful magnet going all over the place. And then you decide what you want to do to magnetize them. And you can get to play here a little bit. Right, so that pink we had underneath, Ruby's covered because of a coloration.
Yeah.
So I'll leave one pink. Do you want this one pink or do you want that one pink? Because that's next to a pink nail.
I don't mind. No, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
So decide on what you're going to do, on what shift you want. And you can just play around with it until you've got it. Because just having a white line over there is just like, no, that's not going to cut it. Unless your client actually wants a line. So as you can see, I'm just messing around with them. Don't want it shifted that far like that. So try and get yourself a nice design, you know, because you still want them to look pretty at the end of the day. Right, so I'm going to go for that shift. Just going to freeze that in place. So we can still see a little bit of the pink at the very top. We're not bothered about that. Right, you can go and cook that, please. You sure you don't want it on the next finger? No, because we wanted the pink, didn't we? Why don't we do the next finger as well? Because we've still got these all pink.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Say
No, cook it. But I'll do both of these fingers now. See, this is how it goes, is you start to do something and you realise you're not going to get the effect. So if you wanted the cat eye effect, choose one of the lighter ones. But to do it properly, to get a really, really nice finish, put it over black. Over black is gorgeous. But we here, as in me and Flossie, like to play.
Yeah.
So we like to shove them over all sorts of colours, just to see what it'll do. So as you can see, I'm professionally removing. I like that word, I think I might use it more. Right, so remove all the zhoosh and then bring it all back in. Which is always very satisfying to see happen. Look at that. So see if I hold it there, it's all nearly gone. So if I put the other end to it, it'll bring it all back. But I won't. I will do it this way, because this way I like. So remember to get it right round the corner, come off the nail. Okay? Right, and we decided on doing what? yeah, that sort of design. So each design will come out slightly different because that's just the life of a tacky. But it's nice when you get different shifts in it, and that's what this client likes. She doesn't like boring nails, thank God.
No.
So as you can see, that's got a totally different shift into the first nail we did, which is more this shift. So we've got like a blankness here, and now we've got a blankness there. Because that's how she likes it done. Different shape,
yeah,
for a different day, or for a different finger. Right, so we'll quickly do that one with a flash cure.
Where's the day gone? It's not that fast.
I know. Right, if your client's wanting a full set of these, you're going to have to make sure that each nail has the same, or the client has approved the shift that you're going to do. So remove all of that and then drag it back over so all the particles are where you want them. So to get it to come straight off the nail, bring the magnet off the nail. I didn't do that very well, did I? So come down both sides, bringing out the lushness in the gel. So see, when you bring them down one side and the other, it shifts the whole magnetism. So go for it in the middle, because that's where you're going to put your design. Right, so we go in with this side, move that in, and I'm going in with that side again, and I'm moving that side in. And then I'm going to check what I've got. So that's similar-ish. They're sisters, not twins. Right, and go and cure them for 60, please. And give us this other one. And we will completely stop messing up each other's lives. Not.
So what's the fun in that?
Exactly. What does yellow look like under?
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Right, where's my little stick? Be professional. It's only because I don't want this all over me, that's all. Right, take away and then bring it back slowly. So if you have to bring it back in pieces, just do it in pieces. So you get the whole zhuzh. Right. Oh, there she goes. Right, so I remember we went in more with that one there. Trying to remember what we did. Whoop, there they go. Mind of their own. We've got the same on that, so thank God I remembered how I did that. Which is very rare, believe me. Right, 1 minute in the thing. Right, so get rid of your magnets, because they are the bane of your life when you're doing this stuff. Right, what I want to do is trying to clean.
I'm going to top coat them too.
Yeah, I'm going to top coat them, but I want to. This nail has a hue to it. Well, this finger has a hue to it. Yeah, it's gone on. Right, so Tina top. haven't slowed any of this process down. I haven't sped any of it up. This is all real time. Right, so and we'll retop that one, because even though it dried in the top layer,
yeah,
that gel will still be sticky. You know, your yellows.
Yeah.
So we cover them up. So you can see the difference between how I put the extra yellow on, which now made that pop, and the single yellow. And she's just going to have to live with it for 4 weeks.
It's not even 4 weeks, so is it, Lizzie?
No, we only get about 3 weeks before her nails need to come back in. They usually grow more in the summer because they're out in the sunlight getting all the nutrients. But no, it is growing more in the winter because she's a bit weird. Right, go on.
I'm very weird, I like it.
Yeah, you are very weird. So put everything away as you go, and it makes it a whole lot easier, and not do what I do, which is look at my desk at the end of the session and go, oh no, got to put all that away. And then I'm like, I'll do it in a minute. The minute never comes. Do it as you're going. Makes life a whole lot easier. Plus, it also looks good in front of your client because you're cleaning everything. Everything's organised and it's all clean then for when I should really stop doing that, shouldn't I? Yeah. So what we're going to do is just remove this armrest. Spray my files that I've used. Ready for the next client. Right, I use the GellifiQue cuticle oil, but it comes in a dropper. Right, I don't like the dropper, and that is me. Nailchemy also sell these, which are great because they're in a pen. So I've got down, I can't get that bit out, it's fully down, so it's empty. And all I do is I just pour my preferred cuticle oil on. Right, so you just need a little bit to start with, otherwise you'd end up getting it all over the nail. You do not want it on the nail because it will dull down your top coat. But what you want to do is come in with the brush, and most importantly do it underneath and under the nail, and then with your fingers bring it up, because then your pictures won't look so shiny just in them places. But your cuticles and your side walls will look lush. And that's not just a camera trick, you are actually just doing your job. But knowing how to do your job properly and get the best pictures is better than just leaving a big shiny bit up there which looks hideous on photographs. So anything that's dried out in the process because I've used alcohol or used anything else gets rehydrated. Right, so we need a little bit more because you've got fat thumbs. No, I'm joking. I just run out with what was on my brush. So I always put it higher, get most of it off. So you see how that hydrates that skin. Lovely. Right, and then I'm just going to brush off the top. So the whole finger is going to look the same colour all over, which is nice, healthy. What time is it?
Only 3:05.
No, I'll give you the rundown. I wouldn't mind even this. These wouldn't have been quicker.
No.
Anyway, so this is the time.
I think it's just this afternoon. It's just gone.
This afternoon has gone. But it usually takes me about 2 hours to do the full build anyway. Like, if I just left it at the back fill, it wouldn't have taken as long.
Yeah.
But because we have yours so thin, then it's always a rebuild.
I just think this afternoon, it's like you shut your eyes and it's like, wow, where is this time gone?
Shut my eyes yesterday when I was in hospital having me off.
Yeah. You just like...
Yeah. You question yourself, you question your sanity, and you think, like, has somebody just, like, moved all the clocks just on me? But you still arrive everywhere in time.
Yeah.
But it just seems like the clocks have all moved. Right, so tidy them away, put them away. Right, so I'll show you on the video what these look like. So if we just put them about there, I think. Hold on, let's have a look. Yeah, that was my big fat belly and my boobs. Right, so there's your shift. And then there's your UV glow. Yeah, she's still got it on her here. We'll see to that after the shoes. Right, so when we come over to little fingers, we've got, so you can see how that one fluoresces. So if we put them two together, oh, that's be 15 seconds gone. See how
cool
this one fluoresces a little bit more because we put that extra gel in it. So it depends on what you want for your final look. So that's that. And I will take pictures. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please DM me or, you know, get in touch with me any way you can. And I'm happy to go through things. If you're talking about wanting to do courses with me, then all the details for getting in touch with me are on the, what's it on? It's on that second page of what this is. So if you scroll down, it'll say something else. I'll have to remember to tell you. And then all my information is on there of how to contact me. Well, anyway, that is us done, which took us 2 hours, 42 minutes and 16 seconds. Bye.